It is here, and welcome to Tony's Tech Talk. This is a special edition. I'm broadcasting here from the airport, Seattle, SeaTac. And so if you can't hear me very well, it's because I'm using these headphones and a lot of ambient noise. But what I wanted to bring you guys here today was regarding the announcement from Microsoft, which came out on Tuesday, May 20th, regarding the Surface Pro 3. Now, we all kind of thought because of the invite, they said that they're having a mini gathering or a small gathering. We kind of parsed it and thought that they were going to announce a Surface Mini, but we're not. Now, is that coming? We don't know. And Mary Jo Foley and some of her sources have stated that is a Surface Mini in the works, working with another processor from Snapdragon Qualcomm instead of using the Tegra chips from NVIDIA. But until that point, again, because of my relationship with the company, we'll just leave it at that, and I don't know anything further than that. But what we do know is that they announced a Surface Pro 3. And one thing that kind of took me aback was that they're announcing it very soon, whereas usually a life cycle is, especially with the tablet, takes about a year. But because of back to school coming up, graduation presents, Microsoft kind of wanted to lead the summer off with a bang, and this is one hell of a bang. So, looking at some of the specifications of the Surface Pro 3, it's actually a 12-inch display now, and it's even higher resolution than a 1080p resolution.
This is your final word call for the American service to Los Angeles, Ananda Diamond, G15.
So the resolution on this is looking at 2160. We actually have 6% better pixel density and pixel resolution screen from the MacBook Air. It's pretty amazing. The aspect ratio is 3 to 2. The reason why that is because you can use it in both portrait and landscape mode. And I know you can do that with the original Surface. It's just because of how it is, how large it is, and actually the same size as legal pad. I think that aspect ratio would be a lot better than doing 16:9, and definitely 4 to 3. It does not come with Office, although it is running 8.1 Pro, including the update. You still will have to purchase your own suite of Office. You can put Office 365 on there, Professional, 365 for small business, so whichever one that you want to use. And because it is optimized for touch and keyboard, obviously both will continue to work properly with no problem. Now, talking about the keyboard, they've got some new type coverage, so not touch coverage, but type coverage. So basically, this keyboard here, it has the physical keys that actually press when you press it, so it feels like a real keyboard. It has 4 different colors. I want cyan, purple, black, and red. It's kind of cool. Now, with the keyboard, it has another, I don't know how I'm going to explain this, but it has another feature in that there's actually not only the magnet to connect it to the one side of the Surface Pro 3, but there's an additional magnet to give it a little bit more lift. So the keyboard then, when you place it on a flat surface, has a little bit of an angle, so it's better positioned ergonomically for your fingers. So you're actually not typing on a flat surface, you're actually typing on an angled surface. So actually trying it out, because we actually did get to try it out today, it really does make a huge difference. Now, in juxtaposition with that, one thing that the Surface Pro brought out that really did set it aside from some of the other tablets that are out there is the Pro Pen. We also have the Pro Pen now, but it's just called Surface Pen. And it's no longer using Wacom, they're using the technology from the company N-Trig. And N-Trig uses the technology in other tablet computers, including the ones from Sony, the Sony Vios. And this is actually a battery powered using a quadruple A battery and to a certain degree Bluetooth. But it actually has over 250 levels of pressure or sensitivity, very, very accurate, and it actually has a clicker just like the retractable pen would. And when the tablet is in sleep mode, when you click it, it automatically opens up the app to OneNote, and you can start writing your notes right away. Really, really great for those of you that are looking to have a note-taking tablet. Like I said, it is the same size as LegalPad and Portrait, so this makes it that much more of a wide reason and makes it a lot easier for those of you who love to take notes at your back home. The other thing that the Surface Pen does allow for is a lot more accuracy when you use apps like Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop announced and demoed the new Photoshop optimized for Windows 8 Touch, and it was just amazing what it could do. Also, if you have programs that are AutoCAD, you could definitely do that as well. As I mentioned, it's 8.1 Pro. You've got all the standard ports, micro SD, supports up to 64 gigabytes. Excuse me. USB 3.0, and then a mini display port, which allows you to connect to other monitors, HDMI out, projector, what have you. Other features on here, you have 3 processors, i3, i5, i7. Now at launch, it's going to be the i5. Later on in August, we'll get the i3 and the i7. With that, also differentiates how much internal memory. The i3 starts off at 64 gigs, and then it goes up incrementally all the way up to half the terabyte. Now, one thing that set the Surface aside from all the other tablets as well was the kickstand. The kickstand started off with just one position, and with the Surface 2, it had 2 positions. Now with the Surface Pro 3, you can put almost any angle. It can go almost flat. And I don't have a Surface Pro 3 to demonstrate, but if you can imagine, this was the Surface 1. The 2 positions in Surface 2 was about here. Now with the Surface Pro 3, you can go almost flat into what's called canvas mode. And again, this is a small angle, which is great for taking notes, drawing, or even typing on the onboard screen, keyboard. The cameras have also been updated. The rear camera is still 5 megapixels, but the front-facing camera is also 5 megapixels instead of the 3 megapixel camera. Battery life has been extended to 9 hours battery life for continuous web browsing. And everything else is pretty much the same, including the mice, the VGA adapters, the Ethernet adapters, and there's a lot of compatibility between the older Surfaces and the newer one regarding some of the peripherals, but the few things that are specific to the new Surface Pro 3 is the new Surface Pen, new covers, the power supply, because the actual power supply itself that plugs onto the side of the Surface Pro 3 is different than what's been coming out from the Surface Pro and the Surface Pro 2. And also because of that, all the other adapters are a little bit different as well too. If you look at a picture of the Surface Pro 3, you'll notice that the home button, the Windows icon, is no longer on the elongated side of the Surface Pro 3. If you look at it in landscape mode, it's actually on the shortened side. So if you were to put it into portrait mode, similar to how if you would show the iPad sold. The iPad is essentially sold as a portrait mode device, which you turn into landscape when you want to touch videos of that nature. So getting into the nitty-gritty of it, the i3 comes with 4 gigs of RAM. i5 also comes with 4 gigs of RAM with 128 gigabytes. But if you bump it up to 256 gigabytes, you get 8 gigs of RAM. Then 256 with an i7 gives you 8 gigs of RAM as well too. E512 gives you 8 gigs of RAM. As mentioned before, this has a wonderful, clear, defined screen, and it's surpassed by none. And holding it, even with the keyboard, it is so light because of the weight distribution of it throughout the whole device. Even though it's 12 inches, it really doesn't feel that much. I was holding it against my chest, and I kind of felt like I was holding the Surface 2, to be honest. Compared to a Surface Pro, it's definitely heavier. Compared to a Surface 2, it's a little, sorry, compared to a Surface Pro, it's lighter. Compared to a Surface 2, it's a little heavier. But if you have that professional on the go, like, if you need to do 3D drawings, when you some gaming on here, this would be a really nice device for you to do that. So in terms of, one last thing, the speakers are front-facing with Dolby Surround sound. So they're front-facing, kind of similar to what they've done on the Samsung tablets. Very small speakers, but they actually give 40% louder volume. It's kind of hard to hear in a loud area, but I'm assuming that in the office sounds fine. USB 3.0 as mentioned before, and like the message is that I'm very, very excited about this. I got a chance to get my hands on one, and it feels really nice. It feels very solid, and I'm excited to see how the general public is going to take this, because when the Samsung came out with their Galaxy Tab Pro, the Galaxy Note Pro, whatever it is, it was 12-inch tablets essentially. Majority of us kind of laughed. I even scoffed at it. Like, who would get a 12-inch tablet that's a laptop? Well, the Surface Pro 3 is a laptop, but it's more than that. You can convert it because of the keyboard into a tablet at your beck and call, and the App Store is getting a little bit better. Yeah, I'm a little biased because I've obviously just been trained on it, but for the most part, I think it's a definite option if you're not comparing it to a $200 computer. You're comparing it to a Yoga. You're comparing it to an HP Spit 2X. You're comparing it to other two-in-ones. This is a much more viable option, even if you're comparing it to a MacBook Air. Price point, durability, usability, it's all there. And it's unsurpassed, even by the beautiful MacBook Air. So I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. If you had anything, the Q&A is open right now, and I hope you can hear me. But I just kind of want to, do what I do best and show off what I did see. So this is the thinness of the device here, and that's not all the way down, because it can actually go even further down. And actually, where the button placements are in landscape mode on the Surface 2, the on and off switch is on the upper right hand corner, but on the Surface Pro 3, the on and off switch is in the upper left hand corner. Because again, this was designed with the mentality that this is a portrait mode device. The next picture here is comparing it to the Surface 2. So it's a little blurry. But comparing it to a Surface 2, it's definitely bigger. But what you can't really see here, it's much, much thinner. So, needless to say, I was definitely very happy with the way that it came out, the way that it turned out, and the way that it looks. There we go. And so, this goes on sale in the next month or so. Pre-orders start right now. Depending on the retailer, they might have different prices, but I can tell you this: they start at $7.99 just for the tablets themselves, and the keyboards are as standard $129 for the type cover keyboard for the Surface Pro 3. Check your local retailers, go check it out. It should be in Microsoft stores in the next few days. Some of the Microsoft stores, they have it in the next few days for you to try it out before you buy it out. And pre-orders, probably in each Best Buy, are limited to one per household. So, trying to buy multiple for a business or something, you might have to go through Best Buy Business. But in any case, that's it for the Surface Pro 3.
surface mini. We'll see. I don't know anything. At least nothing that you guys don't know in terms of what we've heard for the leak. So thank you very much. I hope this was educational for the guys that are watching right now. You guys take care. Have a good one. And I will try to catch this plane. Bye now.